All right, moving on to episode 4. I want to be honest with you guys. I said I was going to wait to review each episode as I watched them, but because I did that last night and it actually prevented me from watching multiple episodes in a row, and I figured I wasn't going to get to them if I did reviews in between, and I really wanted to finish it, so I have seen the whole thing. I watched all 5 right in a row. So I won't really be speculating here. Obviously, if you're watching this with me on here, then I won't ruin anything for you that's going to be coming up. So, but I did want to say that I did watch them. So there you go. All right, so episode 4, we see that Son and William are held up in this diner with the 3 others that were in the truck that ran them off the road and killed Barbara. Which the Barbara death was still super shocking to me. And we find out that Curls, I think his name is Lance, he survives. So there he was. And I was like, oh shit, there he is. And so he goes into like this library place and grabs a copy of War and Peace and just sits there and tries to read. I don't know if he's like trying to calm his nerves or what the hell he's doing. But then he hides. So many amazing long one-take things. Now, because I got to post a few videos last night about this show, and it's a new show, so I'm sure a bunch of new people to my channel, or maybe even people that I have already subscribed to my channel, have been kind of weighing in, and I've been talking to friends online as well. All my friends really like it, or love it. And that really seems to be the general consensus from what I can tell. I've definitely seen one extreme and the other. I've seen someone say it's their favorite zombie thing they've ever watched ever, which, you know, that's not the case for me. I think it's very good. Overall, now having seen all 8 episodes, I thought it was great. I really loved it. But I also got some people who were like, oh my god, I was rooting for the zombies and fuck these characters, which is fine. I mean, if it's not working for you, I totally get it. They said the acting was shit. That I disagree with, but of course, it's all, you know, it's all speculative. It's all opinion based. So you say it's great acting, you know, or I say it's great acting, you say it's shit. I mean, you can't really argue about that kind of stuff. So that's, if for some reason you're one of those people and you saw that, I'm not responding to comments like that. I don't really know how to have a conversation with someone who comes in that hot and heavy on comments. It's just like, it seems like a fight that's just kind of waiting to happen. But I have seen mostly positive. Every friend I have who's watched it loved it. And a few commenters were pretty shitty about it, and that's okay. But for the most part, people are enjoying it. So that's good. Good to see some reception before I end talking about it, because sometimes I start to get the reception after I've already knocked out all the episodes, and then I don't really get to talk about it on the channel. So I guess I'm putting it all here in episode 4 randomly, but there you go. All right, so so he takes off running, and then there's this guy who gets shot up. As I said, there's just so many long takes in this, and I love that about this show. And it's very shocking at times. Not really gory. Like, I don't really feel like there's any gore in this. Plus, another thing I found out, I guess I'm just going to talk about everything here, so hopefully you watched episode 4 and didn't just skip to 8 thinking I'd give a whole big long thing. 4 is where it's at, people. I found out that it really is based off of Z Nation. This is a spin-off of Z Nation, which I've only seen like half of the first episode of Z Nation, and I didn't really care for it. Eventually I'll give it another chance and I'll watch more of it. But that show was really fucking silly, really goofy. I couldn't get into it at all when I first watched it. It's like, what is this? This is like almost a parody. It felt like a slapstick for somewhat. And I was like, okay, I guess this is the route they're going. So when someone said it was a Z Nation spinoff, I was like, bullshit. And then my friend Teddy Brown pointed out to me, he was like, no, dude, look in the credits. It really is Z Nation, and it does. And he said that it also is produced by The Asylum, which this is a million times over. Now, I haven't actually sat down and watched every Asylum movie, but any Asylum film I've ever seen, this is a million times over the best thing they've ever done, hands down. If I'm incorrect on that, if they've been producing other good stuff that I'm unaware of, please let me know. But I know of nothing. They make pure dog shit. In fact, I hate the Asylum. I don't really say that about production companies and whatnot, and I'm not usually that kind of guy, but I don't like them because they flood the market with cheap knockoffs and shit and actually hurt the genre that they're attached to with it. Flooding the market with shit just to capitalize on the success of other stuff is super fucking lame. When you make no effort or attempt at all of making something good and it's purely for money, that is a cash grab. There's plenty of people who argue other things. Okay, I need to talk about this episode. People have already thumbs down and moved on. That's all right. I actually don't have a lot to talk about in this episode, so I'm kind of glad that I rambled here on other stuff. I like that when the guy's running, he gets a cramp in his leg. And he doesn't just fall over and get all dramatic about it, but like he like kind of runs it off and like shakes it out and rubs it and everything. It's realistic. The guy looks like he's a little overweight. And, you know, he probably doesn't run a whole bunch, nor do a lot of people. And he actually gets a full-on cramp in his leg. But it's, as I said, it's not one extreme or the other. I just like how that was handled. And, you know, in this episode was really where I started to wonder, like, do you even need to get bit? Or does a bite change you? Or is a scratch? Or I don't feel like they ever actually fully address that in this show. I do have some answers, which I'll talk about in other episodes, but the whole biting thing, I don't know if for sure it does or does not. I think it does, but I'm not sure. He finds the keys in the visor and laughs about it. That's absolutely a fucking Terminator 2 reference. From what I can tell, anybody who would do that and laugh about it, just they're referencing T2. In my opinion, he sees a dog and it runs away, and will it come back? I don't know. Okay, I might know. And then he goes into a grocery store and he loads up the cart, and then he goes up to the front and he starts to put it on the conveyor belt. Why? What was that? Is he not going to just take the cart out? Was he going to put it in bags, or like, was he going to pay for it? Like, why did he put it up on the thing? His habit? I don't know. And then he takes like a couple cans with him to go look for a can opener. Like, you don't need the cans to go with you. It's not like a fucking, you know, socket wrench, and you're looking for the right size bolt, so you bring the bolt with you. No, like, why did he bring the cans with him? Was it to, like, because he can't talk to the audience to let them know what he's going to look for? We could have just saw he looked at the can, put it back in the cart, and then found a can opener. It was very odd to me that he had to take it with him. It was very odd to me that he put it on the conveyor belt. Lots of odd things there that I just didn't understand the choice of there, but I do love all the one takes. Then he goes and he gets trapped up on top of the bus, and he tries to lure the thing. It gets up on top of the bus, and he jumps through this camper here. And then some guy saves his life, and the way he thanks him is by trying to kill him. And we'll get to where he is soon enough. So let's move on to episode 5.